Recording has begun.
Okay, welcome to Coprolalia. Episode probably maybe 3 at this point.
No.
That we've actually uploaded.
Oh, that we've uploaded? It would be 2. But it's actually episode 8.
Those are for the archives, for fans to delve into later on, once we have more fans. So this is a podcast with 2 struggling, failing, just getting started artists from Victoria.
From old Vic.
And they're gonna talk some shit. And it's gonna be philosophical and bullshit.
Yeah, simultaneously. Which I think most philosophy is, like, inevitably.
It's just shit posting to begin with.
Yes, yeah. It's step 1 in Hegel's dialectic, which is thesis, antithesis, and then synthesis. So there you go. Someone's got to have a thesis before you can go, no, that's bullshit, and then correct it. Someone's got to be the guy to actually say that the Earth is flat, and for some guy to go, no, it's actually round. That's what it takes.
Gotta have that back and forth, otherwise you won't ask yourself certain questions, perhaps.
And the synthesis of the flat Earth theory is that we're actually more of an oval shape, like a what are they called?
Ovals?
Like a prawn cracker. That's the synthesis between the round Earth and the flat Earth is prawn cracker Earth. I'm gonna search that, see if that gets any hits.
Oh, prawn crackers come in all colours. That's cool. They look tasty like that.
No one's thought of the prawn cracker Earth theory.
Like it's folding in on itself, as most prawn crackers are.
It's really oily and deep fried.
And crispy.
Crispy.
I was thinking about the flat Earth theory actually just earlier.
Of course you were. It's
And
unverified, isn't
it? Like on Twitter.
not Twitter verified.
That's funny. It'd be funny if like Plato was verified.
Yeah. Well, I mean, someone's been running a God page on Facebook for some time now, and it's just like a cartoon picture of God with like sunglasses on, just posting memes. So
it'd be fantastic if social media corporations got on board and verified these people. It's so fucking funny.
3.7 million likes. Wow. There you go.
Jesus.
So maybe there is a God.
So all I was it came to mind about the flat Earth theory, and I'm sure there's an answer, and I'm sure if I had a flat Earth theorist to talk to, they would tell me.
Oh yeah.
But who benefits? Like that's I think that debunks so many, almost any conspiracy theories. You just ask who is benefiting from this. So like lizard men and fucking whatnot. Like okay, that makes sense because perhaps a shadow government would benefit from being the shadow government.
Oh yeah, no. The more confused and like believing in nonsense we are, the sort of more docile, less resistant in some ways. Like, you can oppose lizard people, but you won't actually oppose politicians. They can keep doing their thing. You can just, like, have a creepy, like, obsession with people. It's less dangerous.
To have politicians than lizard people.
No, I mean, it's less dangerous. It's less dangerous for people to approach a politician as a politician than it is to approach them as a crazy person approaching a lizard person. Does that make sense?
I think so. I'm not sure if I'm.
If instead of seeing the government as lizard people, I actually became a politician and then like changed things that way, it'd be totally different than me just talking about lizard people and being considered a total idiot.
It's a more difficult route to go to become a politician and actually make things happen.
Yeah, but what else are we gonna do with ourselves?
Well, that's another thing. Like, first of all, you ask who is benefiting from this, and that's how you kind of debunk almost any theory. But But also like it's so much easier if you just if you're down on your luck, and we were talking about this the other day. Like if you're down on your luck and you say you're unlucky, then that kind of takes the burden off yourself. That's like, oh,
Yeah.
it wasn't that I made bad choices.
Yeah,
I'm just
totally.
unlucky.
I agree with that completely. Yeah.
Or our world isn't my fault that the world's so fucked up. It's because of lizard people. That takes all the burden off you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
any people who believe in lizard people, just make sure your priorities are straight and make sure you feel comfortable with who you are first before tackling the lizard people.
Have you seen Louis C.K. On that radio show where it had Donald Rumsfeld? So he's like a minister for defense in America, or whatever. And every time there was a break and like Louis could ask a question, he would just be like, "So there's a whole lot of people out there who actually think you're a lizard. Could you say yes or no? Could you like give us anything?" And like he completely avoided the question every single time.
Yeah.
Which just gave Louis more ammo to just keep on going like, "Well, you haven't said no. That's the thing, you won't say no." And he's like, "I won't dignify it with a response."
Yeah. I mean, that's his training. That's what he's supposed to do. Like, I don't know. You see someone like Obama, love him or hate him, and a lot of people hate him, but he did play along a lot better than a lot of other presidents. No, that's not true. There's a lot of who play along as well.
No one knows the actual like stuff that's happening. I feel like.
Yeah, of course, but we're talking about public appearances.
True, yeah, and at some point, like behind closed doors, Obama's been like, "Yeah, let's drone strike this particular spot," and know full well that like innocent people are dying or whatever. Obama
Probably had a fucking glass of whiskey in his hand.
Yeah, just like, I hate my job, but I love this country.
Imagine waking
Take
up
another
in the morning,
swig.
Imagine waking up in the morning as the fucking president. You roll out of bed and just, fuck, I still want to go to work today. I still want to do it. Not because of the responsibility, but it's too early. It's too early to get up.
Oh yeah, I reckon but you go back a little while, totally alcoholic presidents. Completely.
But who weren't alcoholics back in the day?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, still. I don't know many people who aren't alcoholics.
I'm sure we only collected statistics on alcohol like only recently in history. The rest was just like, it was so frequent and common, like kids were swigging away.
Yeah.
I mean, like we did used to like get kids to like become, what do you call it? Not drunk. You don't make kids drunk. You just like subdue them, make them groggy until you just like dip pacifiers in whiskey and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a toothache or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on cocaine.
What, they used to give that to kids?
No, just like if you're unwell, a lot of tonics and things, those like snake oil tonics, thinking that they were like cures things, just chock full of alcohol and cocaine and shit like that. Times were simpler.
And a lot of people died younger.
It might have been a harder struggle, but it was easier to get fucked and totally legal, and just that's how we did it. That's how we got by. This is the first time in human history humans have actually tried being sober.
And yes, we fact checked that.
Vice told me.
No, shit. What was I? I was gonna say something about
alcoholism.
Alcoholism, yeah.
Obama.
No.
Hangovers. How's that for a hangover though? Reading the newspaper and realizing you just killed a whole lot of innocent people.
Yeah, fuck that. Jesus, mate, yeah.
Ah, my head hurts. He just throws the paper. He didn't actually read it. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Where's my whiskey?
Is that what he did the night before and that's why he's hungover? Like he blacked out and bombed a country?
He Obama'd a country. Have you seen the? I think it was a Clickhole article, where Obama's favorite drone followed him home from the office or whatever. Like it showed a photo of him like sadly holding his hand against this drone, and it was like the sad puppy that follows you, like that you're trying to leave at the shelter or something.
That's so funny.
Good.
Oh yeah, that's right. I watched. I think it was Vice.
Yeah.
Another Vice doco.
Yeah.
I might have even mentioned it last time, just about drinking in, where was it? Uganda or something like that? Uganda?
Rwanda?
Rwanda? That sounds like a girl. Uganda. I'm pretty sure it's in Uganda. Anyway, drinking over there, and like, it's like 70% homebrew stuff. It's like all moonshine shit.
Hell
like
yeah.
Pure, it's almost pure alcohol. Maybe
God, and we think they're savages. They're not savages. They got a good homebrew going.
Oh, I don't want to be lumped into being part of a group that thinks they're savages.
Yeah, I didn't say that. No, you think everyone is a respectable individual. I appreciate that.
I think people can be taught pretty poorly.
Yes. Yes.
But fuck, I mean, white people have been savages plenty of times.
Hell yeah.
Continue to be so.
Yeah, I agree. Savages on all sides. In all walks of life. There's a page on Facebook called Blockbuster Uganda.
Like the video store?
Yeah, yeah. And they just post videos of like people fighting animals, basically, saying that like we found this animal in the parking lot, kind of thing. Like if you're returning Adam Sandler DVDs today, avoid the left parking lot, kind of thing. It's very funny.
My God. I wonder who made it.
Yeah, so many nameless heroes who are behind the memes.
Homosexuality is on the same level as Rick and Morty.
In what way?
I don't know. That's the whole quote from Blockbuster Uganda.
Oh, you found it. Yes. So the page is openly against homosexuality, which is in itself still part of the satire.
Yeah.
And they have one of their managers always dresses in a really nice suit with a pink tie, and he only ever says things like, "I'm not gay. Please do not please do not, please do not start rumors." And just like Headmaster Wengu.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I'm sure they are making some good political comments. I don't know enough about Uganda to comment.
I wonder what they mean. Rick and Morty is on the same level. What? Just a really big ruse or something? I don't know. What'd you say? Did you just get scarred?
Yeah, it's bad. It's it's very bad for the LGBT Q or
GTQI, LGBTQI.
What's the I stand for?
LGBTQ. Oh my god, it keeps going. IAPK. Is that made up?
Okay. Oh, the Q is for questioning. That makes sense.
Yeah, but what's the I? Information?
Doesn't there have to be a broad? Doesn't there have to be another? No, actually, never mind. I get it. I was gonna say because like, shouldn't there just be a word that kind of just?
No, Q is for queer, dude, not for questioning.
It says it questioning here.
I'm
lesbian, gay, and bisexual. Like
lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual.
Oh, there's two Qs.
Queer, intersex, and then
got two Qs for some reason.
A is asexual. P is pansexual, and also for polygamous, polyamorous. Oh, and K is for kink. Where'd the fucking K come in?
Weird.
LGBTQIAPK. Fuck.
I people who attack this whole thing, like say like, oh, they're adding another bloody fucking letter. They can fuck right off.
I was
obviously.
thrown off, to be perfectly honest, just then.
Like
but
that's the thing I've heard. There's words that I've heard out of people's mouths.
like, oh, they shouldn't have added T to LGB.
Or it's like just like, oh, here we go, just they're carrying on again. It's like that. It's just like it's just so it's taking the argument so out of context, or just attacking such a pointless part of what the actual discussion is.
They're doing God's work, I think. Once upon a time, you would have been seen as, you know, a deviant because you enjoyed girls who also had dicks. But now it's just like that's the style. That's the trend.
Yeah, it's popular now. I don't
Traps,
like it anymore.
it's like people got tricked enough time by traps. I apologize if that's like a derogatory term, but on 4chan on the internet, when someone is very feminine, looks exactly like a woman, and then there's a dick down there, it's called like trapping.
Oh my god.
And so obviously some people have been tricked enough times that they're just like, you know what, I actually like this.
Yeah. It started off as being trapped, and now it's just a pleasant surprise.
Pleasant surprise, yeah.
A twist.
Dude, there's a... Oh, no, I won't... Let's not start talking about shit that,
Yeah, it's already, like, delved into some... I don't know. Just topics that we're not really qualified to talk about.
Yeah.
But
we can talk
like
about our own sexualities, but it's so boring because we're just straight white males, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe with a little bit of bi going on in there somewhere.
Yeah, no.
Not for me, but...
I've
Had you fun?
I can't even think of how to say. Yeah, checked her out. I
have another
Roll
friend, with that
roll the
similar
dice.
attitude. Just like, yeah, I gave it a shot.
Yeah, no.
More
didn't
more
work,
enthusiastic about the opposite gender.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just couldn't get excited. I was like, nah. It just.
I've had
Okay.
opportunities, but I just basically was like, nah, like,
Yeah.
I would actually feel more comfortable if I went home or something.
And if then it just feels like if I'm just going to experiment like that, just feels like am I cheating the other person in a way? Like if they're into it and I'm just like, I'm just gonna see, and then halfway through you're like, I actually just don't feel anything. And you're like, well, that's
I've lost all feeling in my whole body.
That's been a bit misleading for the past 20 minutes. Anyway, but yeah, just back to that, back to like people saying like, oh, they're carrying on. A thing with the
2,000 genders.
with the voting for gay marriage in Australia, and people coming out and saying like, well, I was for it before, but now that you guys have just been going on about it, I don't know what to think. That's insane.
Millennials were going to allow you to still have religious beliefs, but now you've just gone and made too much of a fuss.
Yeah.
So yeah, all Christians are going to get fucking killed again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan.
We'll
We'll make a special vaccine, like a special God's vaccine, fully endorsed by the church, and it just completely kills everybody.
Surely it's gonna just die out in the end. Like
Yeah,
religion
I
is
think
gonna die out pretty quickly.
I think we'll just get better ideas that people will be like, wait, why am I devoting myself to this thing that doesn't exist? All these other people devoting themselves to something that does. Yeah.
But also just as it grows, like Mark, I was watching Mark Maron stand up, and he kind of just made he made the point in his opinion that there's only one way to become religious, and two ways to become religious. That is, you are born into it, or you hit absolute rock bottom.
Yeah.
And you lose faith in yourself, and then you need to find something else.
Yeah. I was reading about absurdity at one point. Which is just, the idea that everything's random chance and chaos and everything. And apparently...
Oh, shit, we don't have music, so keep talking about music.
I'll show you how to do it. Or I'll do it. What would you like?
I was seeing some smooth jazz, but I don't mind.
Smooth jazz? is okay. I'll play.
Well, whatever.
Smoothest jazz.
Smoothest jazz.
And I'll 60. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so absurdity.
Yep.
This, like, a number of philosophers have written about it or whatever. This one guy says unequivocally, the moment you realize absurdity is the moment that you become religious. Like, the brain cannot accept and comprehend total absurdity without assigning it a higher power immediately. Apparently, his stance, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of disagree. I think people can sustain believing in total chance and meaninglessness.
I think they. What is this?
Smooth jazz, bitch.
All right, well, let's see where it goes. I think once you it's smooth jazz, but for dreaming spa massage stress relief by Ultimate Relax Club, and it's 69 minutes long.
Oh.
No, that's all good. Anyway, I think like once you get to a point, once you kind of give yourself to absurdity or to chaos or whatever, then you can decide what you want to give a shit about. Then you
I agree. Well, once you realize the foundation of like nihilism, which is nothing means anything, when you like scrub yourself clean of any intrinsic meaning, that's when you begin to build your own meanings.
Yeah.
And difficult process, though, might I say.
Yeah. It does take takes a lot of confidence in yourself to go that direction, I think. Yeah,
to throw yourself out to sea without a paddle and shit, and just be like, woo, what do I value now?
To admit that your actions always have a reaction to them, always have a consequence, or to admit that the state you're in now is almost entirely your fault. In a way, there was no...
you have to accept responsibility for...
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
You become responsible for everything that you've believed and done. Yes.
Yeah. Rick and Morty touched on this in the second last episode with Beth. Once she understood that the universe was totally pointless and she was a genius.
It's a fucking Monday.
G'day, mate.
How you going, Joel?
Damn, it's fucking some smooth jazz.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys. I only been here for like a tiny bit.
Alright.
We were talking about Rick and Morty, I think.
Ooh, talking about the riots that's been going on about with the like Shujan sauce or whatever the fuck it is.
Szechuan.
We Giles mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
For every part of fucking Rick and Morty to get attached to, like that's just the dumbest part to get attached to.
I think that's why it's so easy to get attached to, because it's a stupid joke. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so like in the second last episode, touching on that, when Beth figures out that the universe is just chaos, totally pointless.
Yeah.
And she's a genius, and she can just do what the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
And then he gives her the choice. I was like, well, now that you know that, you actually can just choose to enjoy this life, knowing that you chose it.
I'm gonna jump back to my friends.
It
was nice talking. Nice popping in for like 2 seconds.
See you later, Joel.
Good talking to you. Goodbye, everybody. Have a nice afternoon.
He just took the energy from fucking 2 to like 25.
It's a Monday.
No one's been that excited for a Monday ever.
I agree.
Anyway, so yeah, once you decide that, once you've gotten to that point, and you just get to choose, and that's the best. That's a good place to be, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's better than feeling powerless in a way.
Once you figure it out, like To be honest, I think a lot of depression and anxiety and stuff is misvaluing. Just like putting too much thought into some things and not enough into others. And when there's no guide, when everyone's just like, it's totally up to you, that's when
Yeah.
you just go, alright, well, you know, the occasional thought I have that I'm useless is totally real. And
Yeah.
like, I think that's why we have communities, people with friends who share similar values, so that they can like, they're not crazy, they're not by themselves on the things they care about.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, and definitely whenever I'm down, it's almost always stemming from like, oh, nothing matters. This is all stupid. The world's gonna be going shit anyway. So why do I even try? So I don't know. Maybe it's not advanced. But I see everyone cope with that in different ways. Oh, Jazz fucked up a little bit there for me. Oh, I love this there. Sorry, what? Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked with Jazz. My way of coping with it, I guess, is I think like a belief in humanity in a way, or like with the idea of what we could do. But a lot of people I see, one common one I think is actually like is one-upping people in terms of suffering, which is really, and I see that there's a lot more in I guess in our privileged society, but like people just go like, oh, you're sick? Let me tell you how long I've been sick for.
Yeah.
Let me tell you like or how bad my back's hurting. Like, oh, what? You got a couple of kids? I got bloody 5 of them. And
Yeah.
Kind of shit.
I got 2 divorces, 6 kids, and all my family is dead.
Yeah, and then there's an excuse.
Wow, you're the saddest person alive. What do you have to teach me?
Well, that's the thing. It's not their fault that they It's not their fault that they didn't do anything because their life is fucked up. You know, like there's all these barriers for them that other people don't have, and that's why they didn't do the thing that they wanted to do.
Yeah, I think sometimes we actually are faced with a barrier that it's gonna take like another lifetime for them to achieve what they could have in this one. But I mean, nothing's provable when it comes to past lives and stuff like that. The fact that they choose the Dalai Lama by just showing him some of the prized possessions of the previous Dalai Lama and seeing how the different children react to them, and that's how they choose the Dalai Lama. Like the current one walked up to the, I think it was like the staff or the cane that the old one used, and he just immediately started playing with it, and they were like, it's him, he's come back.
Okay.
But like, even if past lives were a thing, which like possibly are, how can we guarantee that that's the way it works, that it's like specific actual items that your previous life valued, you have the same value for? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just personalities. There's a relatively limited amount of personalities in the world, personality types. So, yeah, whatever my personality wanted to achieve is going to be attempted by other people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
perhaps it should just be put on perhaps just less stress should be put on people to, like, success should obviously be downplayed a lot more, like, or like success should be redefined.
Redefined.
I think up to you. Like,
I think people consider Donald Trump a successful human being, whereas I think he's actually someone who's very, very lost.
Yeah, like he hasn't created shit in terms of like helping the human race.
Yeah, he hasn't created shit, but he's also created shit.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's all subjective. But also, like, if he's happy, if he feels like he's successful, then alright, sweet, that's fine for him. He's an ass and he's ruining a lot of shit. But if he's happy, if he feels successful, then all the power to him. But he shouldn't be the role model for success.
Not at all. Yeah,
he shouldn't be the baseline. And everyone's like, well, I don't have trillions of dollars and I'm not the president of the United States, so I guess I'm a failure.
I don't think he has trillions.
I'm obviously just.
I just want to undercut him everywhere I can. I don't want him to if he seems like someone who's earned $1 trillion, then just keep saying what you were gonna say.
Basically, if you want to be the best goddamn school teacher you can.
Yeah.
For even like for primary school, fucking whatever, you know, like not even like a higher education, like low education. Maybe you just want to be the best goddamn
and like
fry cook
10
for a small thing.
10 of the kids you taught from like a single year go on to say you're their favorite teacher and
yeah,
and want to be like him. That's success.
That's success. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I think it should. I think success perhaps should only be as happy as you possibly can be, or as content as you possibly can be with your own life.
Contentness would be totally it.
And making other people and helping other people be content. Like, perhaps for me, obviously, I want to be an artist. So if me being an artist and making other people feel good with my art, like that would be. It's about other people around you just as much as your own happiness, you know?
Yeah.
But if you just want to play video games all your life and talk to other people about playing video games, like that's sweet, that's great, and if you pursue that and if you're actually happy, then that's success. That is pure success.
I think it's going to become more relevant to the like just people like JonTron,
yeah,
and these characters who people trust for perspective.
What?
Yeah.
Because eventually, once we're all creating stuff, imagine that. Like, imagine how many thousands of games and movies and whatever entertainment you want is being created monthly. There's no way to sift through it all unless you have these, like I was saying earlier, with having friends that you share values with. You're going to want someone else to be sifting through the trash with you,
yeah,
or else you just look like a crazy guy sifting through trash. It's that person who just plays whatever's on Netflix is just consuming so much garbage. Whereas if you have these online personalities who are saying, yeah, follow this director, follow these actors, or like, you know, this game developer's a good guy, this production company, whatever, you'll actually start to consume quality entertainment. And it takes just like people with a good perspective and a good sense of humor to be able to actually sift through the garbage.
And a good sense of community.
Yeah. That's my spiel.
All the power to JonTron.
Poor JonTron.
Does he Coprolalia shit?
Yeah.
Because obviously he uploads like once every 10 years. And it's always really good when he does. But yeah, every time I see I look down in the comments and everyone's like, "Yay, JonTron, he's back, baby! He's got a new fucking video out." And I'm like, "Yeah, sweet. I'm also excited. I'm not angry at him."
Yeah. Well,
are a lot of people angry at him?
They're angry at him about that, but he also just started talking about how he doesn't see anything wrong with America wanting only American people to be in the country or whatever. And that rubbed a whole lot of people the wrong way, and they started calling him like an alt-right Nazi and shit like that.
Yeah,
but it doesn't last. It doesn't last. All he has to do is just not produce any content for 2 months. And then when he does, people are just like, "Oh, I'm just glad he's back."
Yeah. He's still funny as fuck.
Yes. And he works with Psychic Pebbles. And yeah, he's got a good crew.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good to just shut out people who have a different view to you. Though.
Totally, you can just slap them around. I think it's totally fine to slap someone with a different perspective to you.
Yeah. It becomes difficult when their perspective directly hinders somebody else's existence.
Oh yeah.
That's a huge problem.
That kind of difference of perspective.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So you're saying it's the difference between me saying I like chocolate ice cream, the guy next to me is saying I like vanilla, and some guy saying, yeah, well, I like cookies and cream, and I'm making it so that this place doesn't sell vanilla or chocolate because I want cookies and cream.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess
I'm trying to create a metaphor here.
Yeah, no, I get where you're going with it, it's making me having to step back on my words. I guess, like, it's because depending on how people take it, depending on how seriously they take whatever situation we're talking about.
Oh yeah, and they start calling me like a shit eater because the chocolate's brown.
Yeah, like
oh, you're a fucking shit eater, are ya?
So now it's gone past ice cream, and it is actually hindering your enjoyment of life.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. In that regard, I agree.
Yeah.
Fucking shit eaters.
So I don't know. Surely there's just there's no. I guess there is no
ice cream equivalent.
You always want to say that there's no right or wrong answer. There's not always a right and wrong answer. So like things aren't just black and white, but some things are just black and white. Like you just
like
don't
skin color.
No, there's so many shades, man.
Yeah, I know. God damn. Yeah, I get it. Well, some things are actually red and blue, like Democrat and whatever, Republican.
Like the things that Republicans and liberals disagree on, well, they just almost disagree in general for the sake of it, as far as I can tell. Or whatever it's called in Australia, Labor and Liberal or something.
Yeah. Or something. You're not familiar.
I don't give a shit. It's a fucking circus here, as it is everywhere, I guess. But
yeah,
anyway,
totally.
But like certain things, there has to be a black and white answer, I think.
Okay. Do you reckon this is very postal vote oriented?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that wasn't what I was talking about, but absolutely, like
that's
an
example
just, like,
at least.
A fucking obvious decision, and I haven't heard a good argument. And normally you can listen to the right side argument, obviously being a bit more onto the left. So I hear a right side argument, and I go, I'll try and see where you're coming from, like usually, okay, a good example is like we don't want immigrants in our country. It's like, why is that? Because they're going to take away our jobs. Like that doesn't sound like the immigrants are taking your jobs. That sounds like the corporations are giving your jobs to them.
Many hands make light work.
This is also true. Another good proverb.
Less work for everybody because more people are doing it. Ugh.
That's like it's like saying. I guess it's like a real world thing, you know, like, oh, I'm living in the real world. I gotta work. I gotta work for my food. Like, well, but maybe the system's broken, and that's why you have to work so fucking hard to feed your 7 kids. And oh, that's making assumptions.
Well, I mean, all right. So let's say 10 people work on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
With that farm and those 10 people, they can grow for. None of these numbers are like fact checked or anything, but like 100 times.
You can guarantee nothing we've talked about as well.
Including our thoughts on nothing. But like they're producing food for way more than just themselves, like a lot more. When you think about like things that are totally necessary to a society, they can be achieved by a fraction of that society.
Yeah.
It's like it's all of these luxury things that we don't need that we're actually working so hard for. And I'm not asking for any of those. If they put me on a farm somewhere to work, I would do it. Like that would be fine. But instead, I'm like being asked to do things that aren't productive to anything. With the assumption that I'm actually just as money hungry as everyone else, and like that's not what I feel at all.
It's like kind of looking at it from the perspective of like, do you want to be what would be called a realist, or is it or do
living
you
in the real world?
Yeah, or do you want to be conceptualist and think of like the ideal society, utopia for
both.
all of us?
I'm both.
But
I'm realistic. I'm realistic about the way that we're going to get there, but ideally, the ideal world is very different from what's currently happening. However, they're not that far apart. People just need to see things differently, and it would be the ideal world.
Yeah. Like, there's not a huge change. It's actually not as big of a difference.
It's personal change.
Yeah. The way people think is more... is the change that needs to happen. Like,
Yeah.
obviously we need to fix the earth that we broke, but...
We need another
It's
Mona
not
Lisa. A painting that everyone just goes, oh wow, that's cool. Let's just...
Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye is the next Mona Lisa.
His final work of art will be to paint himself.
It's my masterpiece.
Like
huh?
he'll use himself as the palette. He'll just dig away at his flesh and just paint it onto a canvas.
I am the canvas, I'm the paint, and I'm the brush.
And I'm the artist.
I'm the audience.
I'm God.
We think we just wrote another verse. Oh my god.
I am the canvas. I am the paint.
I am the artist, and you ain't.
And you ain't.
Anyway. Nike.
Google. Poor guy.
So sad.
Everyone's trying to marginalize him.
But you can see it when you're looking at someone, where you can look at them and go, that person's actually going to be remembered for a long time. We're not forgetting this guy. You can see, because you can see the effect that ripples through the rest of society. Like, it's not just a spectacle. There's actual effect he has on the society, you know? And art especially. Like, he has a big effect on art.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's gonna be remembered. Katy Perry ain't gonna be remembered. As much as Swish Swish is a goddamn banger. Fucking love Swish Swish. That is absolutely gonna be my fucking summer tune.
Oh wow, I haven't heard Swish Swish.
Oh, it's good. It's like, it's trash, but it's great trash. Everyone a lot of people hated on it, and I was just like, no, this is a baller. This is so sweet.
What's the trashiest song that you think is quality?
Oh, okay. It has to be a Nicki Minaj tune. I fucking love Nicki Minaj, though I hate a lot of her music.
And her?
No, I don't hate her. I quite like some of the things she does. And the characters she plays, I think she's relatively creative.
That's good.
I don't know.
No, that's good. I don't hate her. I don't waste time hating like pop artists. I don't want to listen to them, but
yeah, I kind of think of many I hate.
I still don't like Justin Bieber, to be honest.
Yeah, no, me neither. I feel he is just too pretentious for what he's actually done. Like, I don't feel like he's changing music, but he just acts like he's top shit, which is a lot of people do that. But he's just a very prominent one. DJ Khaled can go fuck himself. Fuck DJ Khaled. The only thing I like about DJ Khaled is that he's funny as fuck to watch.
Yeah.
While laughing at him, but
yeah, watch his Nardwuar review.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's just absurdity.
He's like, he was fearing for his. He's just like, well, we don't talk about my sister. No.
He's like the biggest conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. Do you remember? He kept on saying, "You one of them? You one of them?"
It's like, who the fuck are you talking about?
You one of them, aren't you?
You answer the question so easily. Like, who benefits from you not succeeding? And you obviously have succeeded. So who was trying to stop you? Like, the record companies, and if we're talking about them, we'll probably be talking about the white government or the white corporations that are controlling black music, right? But they are making so much money off what you're doing. So they are absolutely benefiting. They're probably benefiting more than you are. So why the fuck would they try and stop you? What are they trying to stop you from saying?
Yeah, I agree.
When you say controversial shit, they make another bazillion dollars. So it doesn't make any sense for them to try and stop you.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. Anyway. Fuck DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled, come at me, bruh. I'm very willing to take him on.
DJ Khaled in his goddamn esophagus. I won't stop until the cops come in.
He's got a shitload of money though, so I would lose because he's got lawyers. Anyway.
Did you receive a letter from Greg?
Yeah, let me check my inbox.
Because he said he was going to write in.
There's a short little thing here. Alright. Dear Rai, I've been watching you for 3 years. I like your face. I like your slender body. From Greg. I was expecting him to write a little more. I haven't posted any shit on my. We haven't. There's no.
Yeah, I know.
There's
3
no
years.
photos of us anywhere yet. Like we've only uploaded it.
He's been watching you for 3 years.
Jesus.
At least 2 of those, like, you weren't actively producing any visual, like, facial content.
Does that mean he's from this country? I thought he was from another country. I thought he was from America.
Who knows?
Right,
What's the return address?
Greg@gmail.
Send us a letter next time, Greg. None of this email bullshit.
He's clearly hacked someone else's email address. There's no way he got Greg@gmail. We'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait for him to send the next one. Send it by post, and then we can fucking respond.
Greg on Greg Street. How did he get Greg Street?
And like the numbers line up to spell Greg as well on a numpad. Let me actually have a look at the numpad. Let me see what that would be. Greg at 4734 Greg Street.
It's a long street.
It's a long. There's only one street in Greg. in like New Gregtown, New Gregton. Or Gregory Creek. That's what it is. There's one street on Gregory Creek that runs along the creek. It just runs along the entire creek, and there's just houses dotted along. And he's at 4734 Greg Street, Gregory Creek. What's the postcode, Greg? 4734.
Well, anyway, Greg, if you're listening, how have you been watching Rai? How?
And feel free to send me what you've got, because I wouldn't mind seeing what you've got.
You mean like objects?
Just show me what you've got. No, I want to see what I want to see what material you've got. But also, yeah, contact us via post next time, or a clearly correct Gmail account.
Return to Greg@gmail. I swear he must work for Google then, man.
Ah,
I never thought about that.
Oh,
and he could have been spying on you through the Google accounts. That
Google's
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, we'll do a bit of digging, and but if he works for Google, if Greg doesn't want to be found, Greg doesn't get found.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, yeah. I'll send him a response anyway. I'll send him a response, and we'll see if he sends anything back.
Ask him about Google. Ask him if there's any jobs available.
Maybe we can use Greg to get the inside scoop.
Oh wow, this is Tears in Heaven. It's a little bit sad, I think. Let me choose something.
Alright. Sad and probably very copywritten.
If I saw you in heaven.
No, we're probably not gonna get fucking ad revenue anyway on any of these.
Flute of Death. Death Whistle by... No, it's not long enough.
It's only a minute. Oh, I know what these are. Death whistles. They're crazy. But they're not as exciting as I bloody thought they were going to be.
Oh, yeah?
Like, Death Whistle, I thought was going to... Apparently it sounds like screaming, but
I want to show you this.
Here we go.
Share with you this very unique instrument we call the dead whistle. The dead whistle the Aztec used for special ceremonies for Day of the Dead celebration, and also they use when they have a war, when they fight with other tribes. They play over 100 instruments 100 dead whistles
Get to it.
marching and make a lot of noise to cause a big psychological effects to the enemy. So this is very intimidating instruments.
Alright,
and
let's
it's
get
very unique.
intimidated.
So this is the dead whistle.
Jesus.
Oh my god, it's chilling. Alright.
Holy shit. Imagine that. Imagine a fucking army of people walking towards you making that noise.
Alright,
Fuck.
back to the flute. We got Baroque flute music.
Oh, yeah. That's really good shit. Oh, it's loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit over here. Had to turn it up for the death whistle.
That death whistle, man. It sounds like someone screaming at the top of their lungs.
Yeah. Oh, that'll scare anybody. Alright, anyway. Totally sidetracked now. Where were we? Where were we before
Before the death whistle.
the death
Jesus.
whistle? We were on Greg, and then we were on something before Greg. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
It could be a good time to do an outro. What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon.
It's a
We
little
can do
bit
a sh-
early.
we-
It's a little bit
We
early.
can do. We're allowed to do shorter episodes. We're just remembering that only one person, which being Greg, listens to this. We can kind of do what the fuck we want.
Yeah, but he has a standard.
All right. Well, I guess he'll fucking ride in again, won't he? And fucking have a
In
go.
fact, no, because he made a really excuse me. He made a really creepy comment about your slender body. So I reckon
I agree with the face comment. I disagree with the slender body.
so
That's
he
pretty
can just live with us having a shorter episode today.
Yeah, he'll just fucking have to deal with it.
Less of Rye's slender body.
Anyway, well, this has been Coprolalia, a shitty podcast made by shitty artists. Join us next time for more unscripted, unplanned, unprepared, what's anti-content?
Yeah, I was
We
thinking
make
trying to-
anti-content.
anti-content. We absorb content and then shit it out later.
The shit would still be content. How do you make nothing?
Oh yeah, nothing.
Wait, there'll be so many podcasts out there who have just thought like, how can we come up with a way we make no content, but it's still a podcast. Anyway, whatever. We tackled some concepts today. We tackled a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah,
Tackled fucking.
I agree. We
Yeah,
wrangled some deep stuff like Rick and Morty, which requires a high IQ and a high level of intelligence to understand.
It does.
Even the phrase "wubba lubba dub dub" has so much context and meaning, and
I refuse to believe that they knew what that was gonna mean before they started doing it.
yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way. Because the rest of the fucking everything else about Rick and Morty is like, oh, that we've encountered a new race, the Screwballs. Like you just pulled that out of your ass, obviously. And it's fine. You're allowed to do that, but wubba lubba dub dub is clearly just another thing like Screwballs, or here come the Klimchkas. They're gonna Klimch us.
I heard Dan Harmon on a podcast talking about the way that like Justin Roiland will, like, because he's not caring about names and stuff, he'll use the same name 3 times for 3 different characters, and he'll have to like figure out which one he's talking about.
Yeah, right. I have to look up more about Justin Roiland. He is a funny boy.
He's a funny boy.
Funny boy.
All
Alright. Yep.
No, you killed me.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, alright. Catch you next
Well,
time
you
for
completely
episode.
killed me, so.
catch you next time for episode
9, I believe.
nine, which will be the third episode you're actually able to listen to.
I'll upload last week's and this week's, so therefore it'll be the 4th.
Alright, cool. Now we have a... Alright, sweet. we don't have an upload schedule, we don't have any content, but we'll be here.
Yeah, that's the Coprolalia guarantee. Ding!
Alright,
Alright. Goodbye.
ciao.